Hi, welcome to Cat Scratch Kitchen. Today we're going to make a tried and true favorite of mine. It's a pizza dough that's easy to put together and easy to keep on hand in the freezer. Today's video is also part of a collaboration that I've been invited to by Natasha at the Budget Preppers, and it's for a collaboration called #MayItLast. It's a long-term food collaboration with all types of different methods to keep your food around long term. In our case, it's going to be using the freezer. So let's get started. In a bowl, we're going to measure out our ingredients. We need flour, either bread flour or all-purpose flour. I usually use a scale, just because it's more accurate, but I'll have the cup measurements for all-purpose flour in the ingredient list as well. But I'm looking for 390 grams, and this is for one batch that makes 2 pizza crusts. We need some dry yeast, active dry yeast. It can be fast-acting, rapid yeast if you like. Need salt. In your food processor, fitted with your metal blade, pour in your flour, yeast, and salt mixture and turn the machine on. Now through the feed tube, we're going to add our oil. You can use extra virgin olive oil or any other oil that's not got a strong flavor like canola oil. Once you've added that through the feed tube, you want to start with your cup of water, and you want to add it in a slow, steady stream. By adding it a little bit slowly, you can watch the dough come together and you'll get a sense of whether you should add more or less. I usually end up with 1/8 to 1/16 of a cup of water left over when I think it's reached the right consistency. The more water you can add and still be able to handle the dough without it sticking to your hands, the better it'll be. Now don't forget, this is all part of the #MayItLast collaboration hosted by Natasha at the Budget Preppers. She will be having a drawing the first week of June, and there will be an entry form in the description just below the like button. Be sure and fill it out so that she has it, so that your name will be in for the drawing that first week of June. Be sure and visit her channel for the complete playlist and see all the different ways that there are to make sure that you have food that you can save long term, and all the different methods that are going to be shared. Now you want to continue to process the dough for about 2 minutes, and it should form a ball, or most of it should form a ball and ride around the processor. Now when it's done, it should be soft, just very slightly sticky and elastic. You want to lay out a piece of plastic that's about 12 inches long on your work surface. And on your work surface, you want to use your hands to press the dough into a rectangle that's about 6 by 9 inches. Once you have that, you want to press your fingers into the dough, much like you would when you're making focaccia, making little indentations all over it. Now we're going to fold it like an envelope, fold the left third over, and repeat the finger indents. And then fold the right third over, just like you would a letter, and use your fingers to make the indents again. Now you want to place that piece of dough on your plastic wrap and cover it over and let it sit for about 20 minutes. After that 15 or 20 minutes, you want to cut the dough in half and form each piece into a neat ball. Each of those balls is going to make you a pizza. Now you can use the dough right away, but you'll find the texture of the crust will be a little bit breadier and the flavor is not as complex. To freeze the dough, which is the best way to have the best results, it slows the yeast's activity, allowing for the flavor to continue and develop in the dough as it thaws, without letting it rise and become bready. You want to wrap your 2 portions of dough very tightly in plastic wrap and freeze them immediately after wrapping. Now you may want to put those wrapped dough portions in a Ziploc bag as well, because I have in the past had a full freezer, and when you put the dough in the freezer before it has a chance to cool down good, it starts to pop out of that plastic wrap. But if you put it in a Ziploc bag as well, like a sandwich size bag, if it does pop open, at least it's not exposed to the air. Then the morning of the day you plan to make pizza, take it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge to slowly thaw. And about 20 or 30 minutes before you're ready to make the pizza, pull the dough out of the fridge, let it sit on the counter and come to room temperature while you prepare the toppings. So there you go. Really easy and quick to put together with ingredients that you probably already have on hand. And trust me, this is a tried and true. I very rarely, if ever, make just one batch. I make 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 batches, and just keep it going in an assembly line method, and pretty soon I've got 10 crusts to put in the freezer. Really comes in handy. I hope you enjoyed this video. The recipe's right below the like button, and we'll be back next week with another new recipe. Until then, have fun in the kitchen.